Welcome back on Underworld. Today I want to propose you a video about
the unboxing and review about the White Dwarf of March 2020. And here I want to remember you that the reason because you have not been able to see this before, it's that there was the quarantine in Italy. So as you can understand, I was not able to go outside to buy it. Anyway, everything is explained in the description with the video of the unboxing post-quarantine one, so you can understand why it's better. Anyway, we can start to analyze this cover that it's really quite amazing, and it's about the chapter of the Space Wolves, and there is a reason because inside there are a lot of information about them. So now we can move it aside and see the contents inside this White Dwarf. Here we can see the theme of the White Dwarf. Here the alternative cover of the White Dwarf itself, that we see it better a bit later. Here we can find the analysis, or better the explanation about the change of the title of the White Dwarf. So now it's not anymore related about the months, but about the issues, so the releasing. It's a different way, it's almost the same, but it changed a bit, because now if there is again something like missing some numbers, they don't have any problems about. Okay, anyway, now we can flip, we can see the contents inside, and here we can find the cover that we have seen of the White Dwarf here without any writing on, really amazing. And here the alternative cover that I'll make you see later in a better detail because it's bigger. So we can flip again. Here we can find the mini list of the raiders to the White Dwarf itself, and here we can find also some mod that has been painted and so on. I find it quite a lot of interesting. For example, these ones are not bad at all because they show you how you can combine the models with the weathering. Anyway, I have also another way to do such models, and you can find, for example, in my video about the bases, that you can have different ways to have bases for your models, so eventually you can also refer to them. Here we can find also other things. Here this mod that it's always amazing, we can flip, and here we can find a lot of interesting models with some conversions, and here some really nice changing, modeling and painting. And here we can find a modification that it's quite interesting, because even if it's done by a mix of a 8 years old guy and an adult one, anyway, you can show that you can combine different sets, different miniatures to create something really specific, really special, even if it's not playable, but you can use it to represent something else. So it's something that it can suggest you that you can really free your fantasy. Then we can flip, and here we can find about the, we can say, road to play the Bronze Pizza the Orc by Jordan Green. So you can find some inspiration, some of its way to do, and can be quite interesting. Here we can find then a bit about the Space Wolves, and here we can find the way to play with. Before we have seen about the Age of Sigmar and the green skins, now we can find the same about Elliot Hamer. And we can moreover analyze the images that I think that they are really quite interesting to gain some ideas about some colors or so on. They can be inspirational, at least. And we can find a lot of interesting information about. And here the index tasks, and I said it's related about the cover of this White Dwarf, about the Space Wolves. And here I suggest you to read, because there is, yes, something that it's a bit, we can say, old, and something that it's referring about the campaign for the Thousand Sons against the Space Wolves on the Fandom itself. And it's also the continuation of these two forms, that it's Curse of Wolfen and Wrath of Manius, that are where there is described these events, so the main crisis about the Space Wolves themselves. So I suggest you to give a sight about this, because it can be really quite interesting. But moreover, there is also how it's developed, the history after these events. So with the Gilliman that brings the Primaris add-in to the Space Wars on Ferris and so on. Here we can find also a nice, we can see, novel about the Space Wars and some background related about, with a specific, we can say, battle plan and so on. This is related also because has been released in this case also the box that has the Space Wars and the orcs inside, and in fact we can find here the ways that we can paint the Space Wars, and I think that they are really quite interesting to understand, for example, how to paint the browns. That can be quite interesting to realize such effects, or for example to paint some specific details. I think that you can gain quite a lot of interesting information about this one. Here we can find some model gallery about the Space Wars. That can be a good suggestion. I don't like such snow bases because I think that they are really quite obvious. I don't like too much, but anyway they are quite interesting. And as we have seen, talked about the set box that has been released with the Space Wars, this is the part related about the orcs. So here we can see some changes, some modifications, some ideas that you can gain to create your own models, because remember that the orcs change a lot. They can create everything from everything. Here we have also something related about the blood engines, because there is, remember that Mageddon is one of the main ways that they are battling against. And now here we start have Kill Team, because we have the new rules related about Kill Team. So there are a lot of things that can be quite interesting to play. Here we have an army showcase, and it's really quite interesting. It's the army of Jason Lee, and it's related about the Custodes. And again, I don't like such bases, but the models are really quite interesting. So I suggest you to give a sight, because they can give you some inspirational reasoning, and even the scheme of color can be something that you want to replicate or so on. For example, these models are amazing with this scheme of colors, so really quite nice. Here we have a fiction related about the Custodes, because it's always welcomed. And here we can start talking a bit about Age of Sigmar instead. So we have Javid Johnson that start to talk about a narrative campaign that you can realize, so the different rules that you can apply. It's a really nice and interesting article. I don't know if I would play with such rules, but surely they're really quite interesting, at least as we can say a referring to your playing, because I think that they can be quite interesting. And here instead we have the campaign with the background, and this is related about mainly the Stormcast against the Night Hounds. And in this case I suggest you to read, because also here there are a lot of information about Death, Night Hounds and Dosiacs. It's really quite amazing. It's a lot related about Shaish, a lot related about the envies of the armor, so we can have our models. And I want to remember you that I'm creating with my Road to Diorama an army about the envies of and an armor about the Stormcast Tenants. So in the description you can find my playlist about. Then we can flip, we can find also the continuation about what comes after the Necroquake, so the events that can continue. So it's really quite interesting. And here we have the rules to play the campaign. I sincerely not able to play this campaign yet, but I have read about this, and I think that it can be really quite interesting. I think that it should be played, because you need to play it a bit. But I think that it can be really quite interesting, because there are a lot of interesting ideas on this. And here instead we have the battle report of the Tale of War 4 Warlords. So we have the 4 Warlords that has finished their armies, and now they are going to battle against each other with their own armies. And so we can find that there is a lot of interesting information about this, and there is also something special adding also later about this battle report in this White Dwarf. So we can find a lot of inspiration about the models and so on, and moreover has been created a special battle report, so a special battle plan and rules for this battle report itself. So I think that it's really quite amazing one. About this, remember that I'm modifying one of these shiny elements, and in description I'll leave you also the playlist about this. And then we can find the battle report itself. So I think that it's really quite interesting to read. Remember that there has been a master behind this, so there has been a bit of changing and so on, so it's not so simple, but I think that it's a nice way to make you realize what you can gain creating something special from your battles. So it's really quite interesting. And then we have this about Warcry with new rules. So really Warcry, it's a game that has been having a lot of adding, either that you consider the miniatures or the rules. Really quite amazing. Here we have about Biscuit, that it's about Underworld with the last expansion that has been released, and talking about the rules and so on, and I think that for the ones that play this game can be quite interesting. And here we have new rules about Blackstone Fortress. Also this one, it's a game that Jude is trying to develop a lot. In fact, each White Dwarf has new rules, new addings and so on about this game, and I don't think that it's bad. It's quite interesting. Here we have a campaign about the Adeptus Titanicus with new rules later about, in this case about narrative missions again. I can say that this White Dwarf is mainly related about narratives, but it's not a bad thing. And here we have about the Black Library, so about the releasing newest one about Graham McNeil. So you can understand a bit better what has been released and so on, and I think that it's quite interesting. And here we had the second part of the Faith and Fury fiction. So it's interesting how they are continuing to bring this fiction in the White Dwarf themselves. It's a nice reading, I think, so I suggest you, if you buy this, to read, because it's something that it's complete, and it's a sort of appointment of this with something that it's really pleasure to read. Then as you can see, it's really big writing. So, and then we have about the Inside Studio. Here there are a lot more information than usual. Here I don't like this squad, or better, I like this, and in the description I leave also my unboxing about this squad of Blood Bowl, because I have it and I'm converting it also. And we can find also something that we see in the next releasing. But if we move on, we can find an article about Sean Pearson, that is the one that created the battle plan about the four warlords playing against each other. So I think that it's quite interesting to read the article and understand how it has seen the role of the master for the narrative play. And about this, it's also created a special rules about the modification that the Goblin player has realized for its shamans. So it created also the Scroll Battalion, and here also the scrolls about the, we can say, special models, but maybe we'll see in the future, in a future number, about the goblins, and it will have these models inside, so it can be really quite interesting. Remember that these are not official ones, or better, you can play with them, but they are not official. They are created for a campaign, and so in the future maybe they will be brought to be something that will be playable. For now, it's something that you can play for fun, but not tournaments and so on, at least that they are not declared. And here we can find the alternative cover instead about the White Dwarf of this number for the ones that make the substitution. Sincerely, I like better the normal one this time. Maybe without the writing it would have been better, but it's not bad also this one. The main thing is that about the theme that it's in this White Dwarf for the Space Wars, it's mainly related because it shows you the two sides of the same, I mean the Space Wars against the Thousand Suns, that are the mainly, we can say, opponent about the Space Wars, at least historically for now. And then we can find the back, where we can find the cover, or better, the theme of the next White Dwarf, that it will be the Ossexmore Reapers. And I can yet anticipate you, because the next week I release also the unboxing about the White Dwarf of May, so this month, and you can find a lot of information about the Ossiac Small Reapers themselves. Anyway, also in this number there has been a lot of information that can take also these ones inside. And anyway, what I think about this White Dwarf, I think that it's quite amazing. So I think that it's really something that I suggest you to buy, because you have the background, and there are a lot of background, a lot of ways to play the narrative games that you can think that it's okay, but I'm not interested in the narrative games. There are different ways to play, and they can add you a lot of ways to play better your games. So I suggest you really to take note. Moreover, there are a lot of rules about Warcry, Blackstone Fortress, and so on. So a lot of things that you can take inspiration about. Either that it's the models, either that it's the painting, and so on. I think that it's really a complete guide about modelism in this case. So I suggest you to buy it, because I think that it's worth. So, from Dynomod, it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video, or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again. To the next time.